I was wondering on your thoughts on reincarnation.
Why is reincarnation important to you?
Oh, you were talking about the perfect body and, you know, after death moving through the psyche and into the perfect body, and I wondered, was that was that the realm that you go to, or do you return to a physical manifestation? Or?
Okay. As you mentioned it, then I will just speak about it for a few minutes. Reincarnation is a selfish, man-made, ignorant concept. It is made by the person, by all the Buddhists up there, who meditate for 50 years and still don't reach God. And what's the good of meditating for 50 years? Because meditation is not an end, and it should end in the realization of supreme knowledge of Supreme Being, right? So meditation is just something on the path. And those people have reinvented reincarnation as though the person is going to come back and exist as another person again. And that's not the truth. The truth of it is that there is recurrence. There is no reincarnation, because reincarnation means something going back into flesh, right? And that's where the idea of personal post-existence or after-death existence happens. Something going back into flesh. Whereas recurrence is the recurrence all the time of the past. It's occurring here now, and it'll occur forever in this existence. The truth is that when you die, every bit of past is removed from you, and it is the past that makes you a person. You know, your thoughts about who you are, where you live, what you do, what you believe in, what you don't believe in, all the past memories of people and everything else. This is your person. Your person consists of the past that you think about and can think about. At death, all that disappears. I'm talking about the region where there is. At death, it is possible to have a dream. Like this here, in its way, is a dream in sense. It's possible to have a dream. And so if you have not gathered sufficient consciousness, because everybody gets a prize, you can then go into a dream and dream of all the dreams that you wanted. All the things that you wanted, you can go into a dream and have that, a psychic dream. It's not the truth, it's not even in consciousness, but you can have that. It doesn't last, but you can have that. Then we have these stages of consciousness, of illumination, and finally of brilliant enlightenment down here, of all this consciousness which you are and which is inside your body. Now this consciousness in here has no person in it whatever. You see, in an act of love, which lights up the perfect body, which has got the potential of your whole, of everything that you are in it. The act of love, the act of fortitude, the act of nobility, the act of self-sacrifice, that does not have any person in it. The person's the one that would run away and say, oh no, 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 I can't do this because I would lose myself. So love and fortitude and self-sacrifice do not have any person in them, because that's why love has to be depersonalized to even penetrate to the perfect body and start to illuminate. So the person's already out of any loving action that's going to illumine this perfect body. Now the perfect body is only as enlightened as it glows. The rest of it is purely potential of what can be but is not yet. Now, it is this consciousness of the potential and of the illumination that has taken place due to the life. It is that which then focuses, if you look by Origins of Man and the Universe, Now, it is this consciousness of the potential and of the illumination that has taken place due to the life. It is that which then focuses, if you look at my Origins of Man and the Universe, you will see that that focuses onto sense, onto sense, the level of sense. And it then creates, a body is created, a new, brand new body is created, and this consciousness puts into that body, what it needs. That is, there are potentials here of what is needed for that to make this glow further through this body's existence. And so that is put into the body, and that is the determination of that body's circumstances, which will, in time, gradually in this life, perhaps, because there are things working against it, which will allow another area of this potential to be realized and therefore illumined. That's already built into the baby's body, the circumstances of its life, by this supreme consciousness, because this is an aspect of God, because the whole of the psyche is God, you see. And this, the illumined part, is also in the body, and that is the ability within that body system for that body baby to have sufficient intelligence to pause or to see according to the amount of enlightenment that there is in there, to deal with the circumstances which are built into the situation of that body. It's all in the body at the birth. It's all there. The circumstances, and so happens that the parents are already selected because the parents have to abuse the child or do something if that is necessary for the child's consciousness. The right parents are selected by this great miracle of consciousness, of God's intelligence. The right parents are selected, whether it's America or whether it's Australia or London, in the slums of London where you're born, that's all selected. It is an amazing, incredible, intelligent thing that is at work here. And if you try to introduce a person into that, well, that is stupidity. It's so mundane. There is no person is reborn. A new person arises out of experience. To begin with, there's only the body and the intelligence in the body, the natural instinct. That's all. And then, as you gather intelligence, as you gather experience, then the person starts to arise. And the person is there in the first instance as the ego. And the ego's job is to protect the body from harm so that it survives, to do everything possible to make the body survive. That's what the ego is. But the whole world, and especially spiritual masters, have got it all wrong. The ego is a wonderful and beautiful thing. And it is necessary for the body's survival, because it is the ego that pulls the hand, the instinct, which is the ego, pulls the hand off the hot oven before you can even think about it. So the ego's job is to protect the body, and it does a grand job, doesn't it? It does a grand job. If you hear the gunshot, the ego's immediately there, summing up the situation. Should I run? You don't even think about it. The ego knows whether to run. It looks, it's everything. The ego is there to protect your body. But what happens is, because the ego is an intelligence in the body, an instinct, that we start to get likes and dislikes due to the pain of being hungry, for instance. And the person arises out of likes and dislikes. That is, I have a feeling of being hungry, or my body instinctively feels hungry. So I cry, and the food comes to me. And I stop crying. I like that. And then I feel cold, and I cry, and the warmth comes to me. Someone puts a blanket over me. And then I feel sick or something, or I wet the bed and I feel uncomfortable, and I cry, and somebody comes. I don't like that. That's something I don't like, is the discomfort of being wet in the bed. So I'm learning likes and dislikes from the sheer experience. And out of likes and dislikes arises the personal. Because the person is the thing that likes and dislikes in our experience. And that comes out of that is, first of all, there's the ego. And this is the beginning of self. Likes and dislikes. It is not the ego at all. It is the self. I, the self, like this. I like, how often do you hear kids? I like that. I don't like that. I hate that. I want that. I don't want that. I want that. Can't I have something more, more, more? This is the self speaking, not the ego. The ego's sole purpose is to safeguard the body so that if the child's... the ego can only work off experience. You see, the child doesn't have much experience, so it can break its neck very easily by swinging too high on the swings, where when it gets the experience of what hurts, the ego is then able to work from that experience and protect it. The ego is a wonderful thing. And you'll never be rid of your ego. Thank God, because it protects your body. But yourself, you can get rid of. Because it doesn't protect you. It ruins your body with its emotions and rages and unhappiness. It makes you sick as you lie awake all night thinking of your own self-consideration, of your position or something, yourself, your personal consideration. Makes you sick. Sometimes you've got to get up and be sick because you've disturbed your stomach so much with your emotions of yourself. And yet we say, my emotions are good, and we put up with them. They're rotten things, and they ruin the life. And they ruin the life of the people who love us as well. But either I'm making that up or it's the truth in your experience. Which is it? Do you want to love someone who's emotional? Really? Have you ever seen how difficult it is to love someone who's emotional? Or do you think that's all right because then you can be emotional too? And that's how it usually works. If I can let you be emotional, then I can be emotional. So we'll make the best of it. But really, how about a bit of honesty? I hate the emotion in you and I hate the emotion in myself. That's fundamental. And I won't put up with it. In myself first. Because you can't get rid of the emotion in other people unless you get rid of it first in yourself. This is a little known truth. We all always want to get rid of it in the other person. But if you're going to find God, you're going to have to go through the emotions in yourself, and that's going to be provided by circumstances, by people who are emotional. And all they will be doing really is reflecting the emotion that's still in you until you learn to give up your emotions, your self-consideration. Because self-consideration is not love. Love does not have self-consideration in it. Love goes all the way